King Heathen. You wanted me to post my deconversion story, so here it is. And Ian, empty Johnny Depp Pez dispenser says hi. So, you wanted to know about our different deconversion stories. Well, mine kind of came about the same way yours did. I used to be a radical Christian. I was Assemblies of God Pentecostal growing up. I have to say, it probably wasn't as hardcore as you were, but still, you grow up in that kind of church. You have to be hardcore, or you don't ever get accepted. Not that I ever did. I'm going to go into that later. Probably the biggest thing I found out about the church and what turned me off from it was from 1993 to 2006, my mother raised me and my older brother on her own. She was a single mother. And Christians don't like single mothers, especially the radical ones. They did not understand that the best thing my mother ever did for herself and for her children was to divorce our father. I'm not going to go into that. Another thing, it also had to do with my parents. Another thing that turned me off from Christianity and religion in general was the fact that my father is Jewish, and I was never accepted by the church because, well, it was, I hesitate to say Hitler-like, but it was made very clear in the church that unless my brother and I found a way to convert my father, he was going to burn in hell, and we possibly would too. That's not the kind of thing anybody wants to hear about their parent. Yeah, he's my dad, I love him. Whatever he did, whatever he's done in his life is his own business. It's not up to me to judge. It's not up to anybody to judge. There was a long time that I did not call myself an atheist. I was an agnostic. I didn't want to say I don't believe in God. I just wanted to say I wasn't sure if I did. To a degree, I'm still not sure. I think that we could all be wrong. I think we could, all be ruled by a flying spaghetti monster. Nothing's impossible. But, back to my deconversion story. There was another thing. It came to light when I was about 11 or 12 years old that I was bisexual, and my mother was and has always been very outspoken against homosexuality and bisexuality. She says it's a lie. She says it's immoral. She opposes gay marriage in all forms, and that always struck me as very, very wrong. I mean, if it's two consenting adults, and this is another thing she said, two consenting adults, whatever they do behind closed doors is their business, but she made it very clear that she didn't like it, unless it was, man and woman, missionary position, usually done for the sole purpose of procreation. That bothered me. I mean, not just because of what I found out about myself, but because it seems so hypocritical. There were, I think, two things that finally drove me over the edge. This was like, this is it, I'm done, there's no God, there can't be a God, for me, was this movie, Dogma, which, very wonderful movie. It pointed out a lot of the hypocrisy, the stupid things that people do in the name of their religion, and this. Now, ironically, I think if you've read this book, you know about the Babelfish argument and how Adams used it as proof that said God did not exist. I'm not going to try and find it and read it, but the thing was that God created the Babelfish, and it was so impossible that thing could have evolved that, it would prove God exists. But he said, I refuse to prove that I exist, for without faith I am nothing. So that was kind of it. I mean, among other things, among, 9/11, example of stupid things people will do in the name of religion, among coming out, so to speak, it's, for me, it's like, yeah, okay, I like guys and girls, but who needs to know unless I'm dating you, and, well, unless I'm trying to tell you why I became an atheist. Yeah, that was my deconversion story. I just got tired of all the hypocrisy, of all the lies, of all the not accepting people for who they are, or the decisions they had to make. I mean, what business was it of anybody else's if my mom was divorced, and that she worked a full-time job, she had 2 kids, she couldn't afford to get anybody to watch us. Why did that matter to them? I mean, I also didn't understand why was it so wrong for love. I mean, you can love your husband or your wife, and you can love your family and your kids, but you can't love somebody just because they're the same gender as you, and you can't do something behind closed doors. It's their business. So that was my deconversion story. It's kind of lame. It's really not that interesting, I don't think, but you did ask, and I think it's a good thing to post things like this. I'm not angry at God. I have never been angry at God in my life. Been disappointed, I've questioned, I've said, well, if you're here, why did this happen? I'm not angry at God. I see no point in being angry at God. It's not because I have a vendetta against churches. I certainly don't like churches. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like what they've come to stand for. But that's their business. If I don't let it get to me, why should I care what they do? I mean, that's their business. Just like, it's my business if I'm not going, if I don't believe. So, there you are. Signing off now.